Hey guys, I just finished watching the demos the last two games we played on Dust 2 together, and I want to talk about the CT side of Dust 2, specifically how to hold A. So this will be for Leffy, Savage, and Owen. Leffy, Savage, and Owen because, well, Savage and Owen, you guys are the A players, and Leffy, you are the A rotator. So you'll be going back and forth between CT and mid. Alright, so the first question we're going to deal with is, what do we do? What do we do? Where do we go? The second decision is, once you've decided where you're going to go, how do you make sure that you get set up? How do you, what utility do you throw to get set up? And then lastly, once you're set up, if people don't walk into your crosshair, what do you do? Okay, so the first question, where do you go? That is for... that's for Savage to call. Savage, if you don't want to do it, I'll fucking do it. But it'll be better if you do it. You have a good sense for it, and it's pretty simple. And what I mean by this is, are you going to be fight long, or are you going to fight cat? Either work. It's totally your call. Generally, it's better to hold long than cat. However, you can go full games where you play cat every round because they just have they never go long, and you don't know. So either one you pick is fine. If you're gonna go long, you can either do the if you have a spawn, you can just throw a molly and then get to pit and you'll be safe. I mean, there'll be flashes and you need to make sure no one pushes through the molly, but you'll be relatively safe. If you don't have the spawn and a molly, you have to throw more complicated nades. So here, I'll add a outline. So what I do is I walk up to this will probably be for Owen. Yeah, Owen, I want you to throw this. So go up to the tire, then look up to the sun, and a little bit left so it doesn't hit the building. So you'll throw that, then you'll throw this Molotov, then you'll throw a flash like that one. Anyway, so here's what happens. You smoke the window, you molly the blue bin, and then you flash over. So that flash will get anyone in the molly who's trying to escape. It'll get anyone who's coming through the smoke trying to kill you, and it'll get anyone who's already out. So as long as you get that utility out quickly, if there are flashes in your face, you throw the utility anyway, you get it out. It's going to require practice because, bam, if you can't really see and you can only sort of see and there's someone in your face and there's lots of flashes going off, there's lots of flashes going off, just wait a second, throw another flash of your own, and cover it. The point is you got to smoke this off, you got to molly that off, and you got to get flashes over this wall. It's way easier than it used to be with this wall, because there used to be a balcony here that you had to get the flashes through, and a lot of times it would miss and it would land behind you and it would work. That kind of sucked. But it takes a lot of utility to take long. The good news is that if the T's are smoking this off and they're throwing all sorts of flashes over, it's also costing them a lot of utility. And then and whoever wins gets long, and it should be the CTs every time. Alright, so if we're taking long, everyone's going long. None of this, okay, you guys go long, but I'm going to watch cat bullshit. None of this, oh, you guys are going to go long, but I'm going to watch, or I'm going to go... Or I'm going to chill here and hold this angle, even though if they go there, I'll get fucking wrecked, and then we won't be able to retake because our other players will be long. No, if I call too long, you're both going A, or you're both going long. if I call 2A, you're both going long, or you're both going cat. And if I call 3A, you're all going long, or you're all going cat. Obviously, you can't all go cat because someone has to boost the other one. But everyone's going to the same spot. If you lose long and cat because you weren't all together, you failed. If you lose cat because everyone was long, you did your job. You can retake. So, alright, so that's if you're taking long. Now, what if you decide to take cat instead? I mentioned it slightly, or briefly. First spawn, it's probably going to be Owen, because I want Savage up there regardless. So it's probably going to be, well, I guess whoever has the best spawn, off your own. Boost boost the other ones up. If I called 2A, you'll be boosting Savage. If I called 3A, you'll be boosting Savage and a partner. So once you're up here, let's see. Do you need any utility? No, if you fast cat, you'll be fine. You can throw flashes over like this one. You can also throw underhand flashes like that. Underhand flashes are real nice when you're up on a ledge like this, because as you can see, they don't hit the ground when they pop. So there's guns everywhere. So that'll just wreck anyone who's up here. But it'll also give away your position. So generally, if you're going to do anything, like if you hear people, maybe throw a smoke just to annoy the terrorists. Or if you think they're coming lower and like you've been getting shot and you want to set up like here, for instance, with a teammate playing counter flash, like that, like Savage with a shotgun, that makes a lot of sense. If you want to just straight rush it, you can, but I do recommend getting a teammate to flash either there or there. There's lots of flashes you can do. See, it pops over there, but if you're close to the wall, it won't hit you, as long as it's thrown quickly. So there's lots of, way less utility for taking and holding cat, because it's such a narrow choke point, and you get there faster than the T's. If they run suicide, I'll give you a warning, because I'll be probably jump spotting. I haven't been smoking the cross very much. Okay, anything else y'all need to know? Oh, so that's how you decide where to go. That's how you get set up. Now, the final question is the now what? You've gone long, and either they went mid, they went cat, or they did a B rush. Like, now what? Okay, so you've got the molly, and then probably a smoke afterwards. Although if you're gonna op it, you don't usually smoke it. So Owen's playing around here somewhere. You can either be on the left side of the door or the right side of the door. You've got options. You can even like push through here and hold. Like, you have to be careful about a boost. You can't do it all the time. But if you're here, you can watch your shadows. You can also have Savage here with an op, like maybe hold long for a while. And then Savage can go back and forth from holding long to holding cat. This is a good op angle. This is for future reference, this is a bad rifle angle. This is an op angle. You don't want to hold this with a rifle. So if you have a rifle, so Luffy, let's say I called 3A. You went A long at the beginning of the round. Maybe you got one kill and then the rest fell back. Something like that. Say you want to help with cat, this is what you'll be tempted to do. You'll be tempted to come up here like this. Bad idea. In fact, horrible idea that will get you killed and then throw away the round. Because it's not just, like a position like that is not just a position where, oh, you die and then we rotate and hold the site. That's like you die and then we lose the site. Because you need to be in, like, here. So that if Savage misses an op shot, you're there to get either a dink or just some damage or just discourage them from pushing cat so that Savage can get set up again. Or maybe he misses an op shot, so you throw a molly or a flash or a smoke. Use your utility. Grenades are really good for around here because you can get them. You can get them if they're chilling in this little nook, like holding back. You can throw an nade that pops right above them. There's lots of good utility from down there. So if Lefty, if you're playing the A rotator position and you went A instead of going mid, if you have to rotate out, rotate through CT. Don't bother with cat. Anything else? Necessary knowledge? Yeah. So play somewhere like, I wouldn't go any further than CT if you have a rifle. Like I wouldn't play over here with a rifle, especially if you started long. That's just such a long rotate, and there's likely going to be players on the catwalk watching the mid doors for exactly this kind of thing. I'm changing my crosshair back. There we go. Okay. So that's what to do if you're playing long and you have to rotate. So let's say I called 3A and Luffy, you boosted the other two, Owen and Savage. It's probably a good idea to just like hang around here and count the utility that's being thrown long. Like if they throw a smoke on the corner, you can do something like flash the smoke to make it seem like there's more people. And then if they don't do anything, a smoke like there is not a bad idea, because you can try and catch them as they're creeping through, and it'll generally slow down like in a long rush. You can also flash over the wall and check to see if there's anyone. My point is you're not there to hold the site. You're there to maybe get a kill and then rotate. You're there to see if there's anyone there, and then rotate and play an angle like this. You don't need to be up on site. Like, you don't need to be doing one of these. That's a good way to get you killed. You want to be in a place where you can sort of annoy the other team, where you can kill them and then get away without a trade. And then when they chase you, then maybe Owen is like up cat and he gets a kill because they're trying to get UCT. And then you fall back and we do a retake. So, and for Savage and Owen, let's say you guys are boosted. If they go long, you don't really do anything. I mean, make sure they don't have a mid lurker. Like, just check for a mid lurker. And if you have an op, you can take this fight. If you have a rifle, I'd probably just hold an angle like this. Just make sure they don't get pushed up to quad, because that can be really hard to retake against. I wouldn't peek goose, but just like hold something like this and just try and get your headshots and fall back. Just make sure you hold cat, because if you have cat, so there's cat, CT, and long. Those are the paths to get into A. If you have 2 out of the 3, you can retake it. If you have 1 out of the 3, you're not going to retake it. I mean, if it's a one-on-one, probably. But if the other team has 3 players alive, you're not getting in unless you have 2 out of the 3 choke points under control. It's just not going to happen. So those are my tips about how to hold A. Talked about where on the map to play, because no one plays on A site. If you're playing on A site, you either have great aim, you're an all aim player, or you're a silver. So either way, it's like there are way better ways to play than on A site. Then I talked about like you can use WASD to move to the spot, but if you have no grenade coverage and the other team has rudimentary utility, you're going to get killed. So you need to know the basic utility of how to get into your spot so that you can get those kills. And lastly, I talked about, if they rush you, I expect you to get kills. If they don't rush you, how do you get away? You can't just completely go into disorganization and say, oh, I'm long, but they took catwalk. Okay, I'm going to flank every single time, because you're going to get shot from T-spawn by an opper, or there's going to be someone at the car outside long and they're going to shoot you. So I hope this helps. If we miss any of the things in this video in our scrims, instead of making another video like this, I'll just refer you guys to this video and tell you what's going wrong. Because in the last couple of Dust 2 demos, I saw a lot of errors, basic errors that I've outlined in this video. So let's work on that, and let's hold A site.